I'm Percy Dove Tonsils. It's said that on this date in 1040, Lady Godiva made her famous naked ride to promote her new chocolates and protest against higher taxes. One of the best things that ever happened connected to the number 1040. The men in the village said they'd be okay with the taxes if this keeps up. To prove to her husband that she didn't have a thing to wear in her closet. After the ride, she went on to open a chocolate store. It was to settle a bet. A candy maker had said, "If you ride naked through the streets, I'll name a rich, dark chocolate after you." And the rest was history. Hey, we have reenactments at Gettysburg and the Potomac. Where are the history buffs when you need them? On this date in 1850, Vice President Millard Fillmore became president following Zachary Taylor's death. Yes, it was Millard time. In 1890, Wyoming became our 44th state. It was initially going to be called just Oming. But someone asked, Wyoming. And that sounded better. In 1896, the Democratic National Convention in Chicago nominated William Jennings Bryan for president on the 5th ballot. I don't remember hearing about President Bryan, but I think I know how that turned out. In 1919, President Wilson delivered the Treaty of Versailles to the Senate. Back then, being president didn't pay that well, and Wilson's delivery job was a nice source of extra income, decent pay and nice benefits. In 1925, the Soviet Union created TASS, its official news agency. Its motto was, "All the news you're going to hear." In 1933, the first police radio system began operating in New York. Until then, calling all cars. Calling all cars. Had to be yelled. Very loudly. On this date in 1966, Orbiter I launched on its mission to the moon. Ironically, Orbiter I landed on the moon while Lander I orbited. On this date in 1968, Eric Clapton announced that the band Cream would break up after a farewell tour. That was back in the days when bands only did one farewell tour. On this date in 1973, the Bahamas became independent after 3 centuries of British rule. Immediately, the number 1 song in England was Yes, We Have No Bahamas. In 1975, Cher ended her marriage to Greg Allman after only 10 days. She managed to out-Kardashian the Kardashians. On this date in 1984, Tyrone Crone set the jump rope record of 418 turns in 1 minute in Middletown, New York. He was going to go for 419, but his friends said to skip it. In 1985, after causing an uproar by changing the formula of its classic soft drink, Coca-Cola announced it would resume selling the old formula as Classic Coke. That was back in the day when our biggest national crisis was a soft drink. Today is Chronic Disease Day, Global Energy Independence Day, National Pina Colada Day, National Kitten Day, International Town Criers Day, and National Clarihue Day. Jessica Simpson turns 44 today. That's age, not IQ. I'm pretty sure. Cher and the late Greg Allman's son, Elijah Blue, turns 48. I wonder how many Cher final tours he's been around for? Sofia Vergara turns 52 today. That deserves a golden buzzer. I'm sorry, I was looking at her picture and wasn't listening. What did I say? Jeff Bergman turns 64 today. He's the current voice for Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. Ironically, it's the same day that Mel Blanc, the original voice, died of a heart attack back in 1989. Singer Neil Tennant, Pet Shop Boys, turns 70 today. Finally, President Biden says he's staying in the presidential race and will not drop out. He insists he's not doing this lightly and has put a lot of thought into this titanic decision. He announced his decision from inside the White House hall closet. With exciting facts to clutter your mind, I'm Percy Dove Tonsils, for KDAZ, Digital Broadcasting. And thanks for listening.